Earth Day Stories, this April on National Geographic. Having people hear it when it's my voice, I love it. It makes me feel complete. My name is Russell Wade, director at Red Angel Media, a dubbing company in Hong Kong. I'm a voiceover artist, voiceover and dubbing director, script adapter. Basically, I just wear a lot of different hats here. I've been in Hong Kong for 20 years, and before that, I came from America. I've always been an actor, and so following that, I was teaching some drama here in Hong Kong a long time ago, and I met Paul somehow. My friend Paul was doing the Ocean Park Halloween thing. And he hired me to play Dracula. So I was just one of his characters at Ocean Park, and I said, yeah, sure, I'll do that. That sounds like fun. And so I did that. And while I was doing that, one of the other actors got hurt. And he was replaced by another guy the next day. And then that guy was dubbing Kung Fu movies here in Hong Kong with a local guy. And they said, we need another guy on the team. And I said, okay, I could do that. I'm interested in that. And he said, okay, well, come on in and do a test. And I went, okay. So I went to Mongkok in this tiny little studio in Mongkok, and I have no idea what's happening. And I'm just kind of watching these people dub on the fly, going, dubbing through the movie really fast. And I was like, oh my gosh, you want me to do that? And they were like, yeah. So they said, okay. I let Russell in, and I sat down, and they said, okay, that monk is your guy. You want to watch it? I said, okay. And the monk fell off the building screaming and burning and whatever. It was a Kung Fu movie. So I gave it my all. I had to scream. I was like, ah! They come down the thing. They're like, you're hired. He can scream. There's a lot of different roles in the voiceover and dubbing industry. I mean, you don't just have voiceover artists. There's engineers, there's script writers, there's copywriters, there's producers, directors, people who design and build studios. The difference between voiceover and dubbing is, well, dubbing is a kind of voiceover, if you want to look at it that way, voice acting. So voiceover, plain and simple, is reading copy into into a microphone to help. You're either reading a corporate copy or an audio book or some kind of narration. Dubbing, on the other hand, is where we're taking content that's in another language and we're turning it into English, for example. So if we're taking like a Cantonese film and we are hiring a bunch of voice actors and rewriting the script and to match the lip flaps of the actors in the original language and localizing it into English. So that's kind of a big difference. What I think makes dubbing important is that it brings content from one culture and makes it available to another culture in an easy to digest way. So we start again. Let's say we have a Cantonese movie, and what happens is then you take that movie and you translate it into English. That translation then has to go through an adaptation step, which is something that I do. And what you do is then you identify, if the characters aren't given to you, you identify who's talking, and then you write the translation and you turn that into dialogue, English dialogue, that makes sense in the characters, we call them lip flaps. And so it looks like the end goal is to make it look like the character was always speaking English. Without a script, you don't have anything for the voiceover artist to read. So I'd say that the copywriter is probably one of the most important people on the team. You have the team back end, you have the creative, and you have the director, and you have all those folks behind the vision. The voiceover artist is the final sort of audio brush that goes on the whole thing to sort of, pull it all together. Usually it's one of the last things that's done. Most memorable directing experience recently, I managed to do the English dubbing directing for Anita, the story of Anita, the biopic. I did her the the director's cut that airs on Disney Plus. I did the English dubbing direction for that. I also adapted the script, and that was a cool project because I had to. First, I got the adaptation. We finished that adaptation, sent it off, and then a week later, they said, "Hey, our director can't do the job anymore. Can you help?" The actors that I hired were Cantonese. A lot of them were Cantonese American Chinese people, or people that had left Hong Kong when they were quite young, and they knew who Anita was, and so the story for them was quite powerful because we're bringing Anita's story to a wider market, and they were really passionate about it, and so that was one of the best dubbing experiences I think of my whole life. If you want to be a voiceover artist, practice reading out loud, take some acting classes, learn how to read text for meaning. It's very important. Treat yourself as a small business. No one's going to bring work to you. You have to, go get it. You have to tell people that you are good. Voiceover is not an industry that will come to you. You can't just say, "I'm a voiceover artist," and people will hire you. No, you need to say, "I'm a voiceover artist, and this is why, and look at this, and I have a demo, and I've created this." And I have talent that I use all the time. By the way, always sending me stuff, updates on what they're doing, what they've done. Here's my new demo. I've done this. I've done that.
If you go back to the past, will you choose to be a dubbing artist again?
Would I choose to do it again? Absolutely, 100%.